Now, the Streetlife album, which was recorded in 75, was very hastily put together. I'd been on the road since Piano Man came out. I had not had any time to write new material. Very difficult to write on the road because you can't have a piano in your hotel. And I was on the road, it was a good year and a half before I got the opportunity to sit down and write. All I had were little fragments of ideas. It's not one of my favorite albums. I think it's pretty much half-baked. The only decent song, to me, on the Streetlife Serenade album is The Entertainer, which was really almost like a folk song. The other songs are a bit half-baked. There is an instrumental that I really like called The Root Beer Rag, which is some fun piano playing. It was, pretty fast piano playing. But out of that album, I know people like it. I have a little animosity about it because I don't think I had enough time to write what I really wanted to write. Root Beer Rag. I always loved root beer. I was doing the Streetlife Serenade album. I didn't have any more songs, so I actually wrote an instrumental for the piano because that's all I could think of. And I called it The Root Beer Ray. And that's it. Roberta. I had a crush on a woman who was a prostitute, and I was trying to talk her out of doing that line of work. I really felt like I was in love with this person. She's a very nice person, and you should get out of this line of work and come with me. And she goes, no, I'm independent. I make my own money. And she didn't want to leave that line of work, but it's about being in love with a hooker. Let's see, The Entertainer. I was watching, this is 75. I'm watching, there was a television show called Rock Concert with, what was the name of the guy? Don Kirshner. Don Kirshner's Rock Concert. This guy had a voice from the deli, Don Kirshner, Billy Joel started out in playing in the piano bar. He did, get a lot of musicians started, but he just wasn't the right guy to announce this thing. The other weird show was the Midnight Special, with Wolfman Jack. Television, I always thought, kind of trivialized music, especially pop music and rock and roll. TV, they put Elvis Presley on stage with a dog because he sang Hound Dog. TV, I had a lot of resentment against TV, the way they treated rock and roll. And I would watch these shows. They had the same stage, this Art Deco, dopey looking stage, and you had to use their stage. Or else you were introduced by this guy who used to work in the garment industry, and he had a TV show. And I thought this was like assembly line pop. I don't want to be like those bands. I want to present myself my own way, but it was a form of promotion, and you went ahead and did it because that's the way the music business worked. So I started writing these sarcastic lyrics. Now, you got to remember, the only other recording people knew of me before then was Piano Man, was about a guy kvetching about, I'm in this piano bar and it's a bunch of losers. Man, what are you doing here? La da da. Kind of a sad song. And now, he's getting some attention, and now he's kvetching about getting the attention. So, I would always do something like that. I would shoot myself in the foot a lot. But I was a young smartass. The Entertainer. Another long-haired band, say I am your champion. May you won your hearts. Sounds like Gordon Lightfoot. trying to sound like we're like Souvenir. You know, on New Year's, everybody sings Auld Lang Syne. I don't think most people don't know what it means. It just sounds good. Well, drink a cup of kindness yet, which is a nice phrase. And I thought, okay, that's the best part of that song. How do we sum up the year? And I wanted to write a song that would be a New Year's song. Every year is a souvenir that slowly fades away. And it's short. It's probably the shortest song I wrote. And I remember the producer at the time, who was Michael Stewart, asking me, well, isn't there more to the song? It's a little brief. And I said, that's all I have to say about that. Actually, the beginning of it is a little piece of Chopin. There's a lot of Chopin pieces I love. But I kind of borrowed the first three notes from Chopin. I don't think he'd mind.